Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Hi, it's Kathianne Lewis, and it's time for another faith lift. Actually, we have faith. We have the faith of God. We have a spiritual muscle within ourselves that can lift us out of whatever predicament we're in. We actually, as a spiritual being, have faith. We wouldn't have been asked to have it if it wasn't possible. It might be dormant in us. It might be weak in us, but we definitely have faith. And what I've noticed is that sometimes instead of strengthening our faith in what we want, is that we get distracted by other thought processes. And the thought process I want to talk about right now is for spiritual people. We have a hard time admitting we have feelings that we don't think spiritual people should have. We might be frustrated, angry, disappointed, depressed, guilty, lazy, bored, discouraged. But as a spiritual person, we're not supposed to talk about that. We're not supposed to give our attention to that. And what I've noticed is that if we truly avoid something, it has power over us. So I want to talk about how to move through those things without doing what some people would call a spiritual bypass. Being lonely or depressed or grieving, and then saying, I'm okay. How many of you have run into people in your circles, people that are spiritual, people that aren't spiritual, and you ask, how are you? Okay. And you can tell by the tone of voice that sometimes it's okay and sometimes it's really not okay, but it's not okay to say you're not okay. I got an email recently from a wonderful woman who has a huge, deep spiritual life, and she felt a little bit vulnerable about knowing that she could sometimes get upset with feedback. And she felt a little bit, I think, guilty about that. That sometimes the great communicator that she is felt uncomfortable with feedback, either giving it or receiving it. But I'm glad she told me, because I believe that in telling someone, that's one of the first steps to get through these emotional quagmires we can be experiencing. So there's 3 steps I want to share with you. The first one is tell somebody. Tell somebody you're mad. Tell somebody you hurt. I recently sold a horse, and although I'm very excited that she's going to a great home and that it opens up an avenue for me to have more time in another area, I was really sad because I raised her. And I said that. I'm sad. But I wasn't stuck in sad, which is one of the reasons I ask you to say something to someone. A long time ago, I heard from one of my favorite ministerial friends that a hurt shared is diminished. An upset shared is diminished. A trouble shared is diminished. So just by putting it out on Facebook and telling some friends and some people that I know that I was hurting, that I was sad, I got through that very quickly. I didn't pretend all was good. It was good and it was sad. The next thing that I have a journal. And so the next thing is after you've told somebody, also really start writing. Take some time to write, because sometimes what's bothering you has roots in something else. I realized that when I was journaling about Sue and how sad I felt, I realized that I hadn't totally grieved the death of her mother, one of my favorite mares. And she just triggered that grief. But by journaling about it, I got to let go of just more of that grief. You know what? Spiritual people grieve. Spiritual people grieve because we loved. So journal. And the other thing, it's so funny, is that sometimes if you're not getting it out in words, draw a picture. Art therapy. I know I don't draw, do stick figures. Do just stuff. Get some colored pencils and just start doing stuff, and it opens up the right side of your brain and allows you to have more coherence between what you feel and what you think. And the last thing, I said there was 3 things, but there's actually 4. The 4th is realize that you will not be stuck here. Don't avoid what you're feeling. Do what you can to recognize it, to honor it, to get to the bottom of it, to share it, and you won't get stuck there. Because there's something within you, something within me, something within us that's greater than any emotion that we might be going through. The presence of God is still there. The presence of God is still you. The presence of God is still me. And we're not stuck. And that's the good news. So I hope that helps your faith today.
There's a love unconditional. It sings throughout the years. One love that washes over you. In the laughter and the tears. Like the beauty from a mountaintop. As deep as the sea. As grand as the universe. A simple harmony. You are the strength when I'm weakest. You are the eyes I see with. When I fall, you lift me up. You are the friend that I count on. You give me hope to carry on. You fill my heart, you're in my soul. You are the greatest love. When I pray, you come to me. Your grace is all I need. I give you all I have to give. A love that feels so free. You are the strength when I'm weakest. You are the eyes I see with. When I fall, you lift me up. You are are the friend that I count on. You're the hope that carry on. You fill my heart, you're in my soul. Yes, you are. You are the dream, I'm the dreamer. You're the song, I'm the singer. You're in the sun, the moon, the stars. Yeah. And as I give my life to you, and all the good that comes through you, you fill my heart, you're in my soul. Ooh, you are the greatest love, the greatest love, the greatest love, the greatest love.